What is vitiligo? Vitiligo can be defined as an acquired, chronic, and depigmentary disease. This is the condition where you can see there are loss of melanocytes from the skin lesion. So, what is melanocyte? Melanocyte is actually a dendritic cell. It produces melanin pigment, which is responsible for our skin color as well as the hair color. The melanocyte contains melanosomes. It produces melanin pigment, which is responsible for the skin and hair color. So there is a loss of melanocytes from the skin lesion or from the lesion from the skin in vitiligo. What is the common theory or what is the hypothesis or mechanism of vitiligo? Why does it occur? How does it occur? The most common theory said to be regarding vitiligo is the autoimmune theory or autoimmune hypothesis. What is this autoimmune theory? The autoimmune theory is actually we have something known as autoantibodies. It destroys the melanocytes, which results in the melanocyte getting absent or being absent from the skin lesion. So autoantibodies destroying the melanocytes, resulting in the absence of melanocytes from the skin lesion. Coming to the classification of vitiligo. When you classify vitiligo, it can be divided into three. First is segmental vitiligo, second one is non-segmental vitiligo, third one is the unclassified or undetermined vitiligo. Segmental, non-segmental, as well as the last one is unclassified or undetermined. So coming one by one, what is segmental vitiligo? Segmental vitiligo, as the name suggests, segments, it's present in segments. It is unilateral, means it does not cross the midline. Unilateral, does not cross the midline, as well as segmental. It happens to occur in the early childhood, and initially the lesion is rapid, later it stabilizes, and this is associated with the thyroid dysfunction. This particular vitiligo, almost all the types of vitiligo, but more commonly said to be segmental vitiligo is associated to have a thyroid dysfunction, so it has to be ruled out. Then it happens in early childhood. Unilateral, does not cross the midline, and one of the classical features overall vitiligo you can see, especially in segmental vitiligo, you can see is leukotrichia. What is leukotrichia? Leuko means white, trichia means hair. So you can see white hair. So we all think that vitiligo is only affecting the skin. It's not only the skin, but it can also affect the hair. So one of the classical clinical feature is leukotrichia, white hair. So that's about segmental vitiligo. And one more thing to add is the treatment of segmental vitiligo. The treatment can be only surgical intervention. The segmental vitiligo is usually surgical intervention. Means melanocyte transplantation can be done or skin grafting can be done. That is about segmental vitiligo. The second classification is non-segmental vitiligo. In non-segmental vitiligo, we have four categories, you can say. The first one is acrofacial vitiligo. Second one is mucosal vitiligo, third is vitiligo vulgaris, and the fourth one is universal vitiligo. What are these four things? First one, acrofacial vitiligo. Acrofacial, this affects the face and the distal part of the body, means hands, the feet, the extremities. So face as well as the extremities, acral and facial, acrofacial vitiligo. Okay, that is one of the type of vitiligo in non-segmental vitiligo. The second one, if we have more than one side of lesion, that is mucosal vitiligo. Second one is mucosal vitiligo, which appears to happen when there is the presence of lesion more than one side. The third one is the most common type of vitiligo in the entire vitiligo, or the most common type of non-segmental vitiligo, which is said to be vitiligo vulgaris. Vitiligo vulgaris is the most common type. You can see the symmetrical presence of lesions in the body. Symmetrically the lesions are present, and the most common type what we see in the dermatology is vitiligo vulgaris. And the final, the last category of non-segmental vitiligo is the universal vitiligo. More than 80% of the body surface area is affected, means it is universal vitiligo. So we have four types: acrofacial, mucosal, vitiligo vulgaris, as well as the universal vitiligo. Okay. So among these, the most common type is the vitiligo vulgaris, symmetrical presence of the lesions all over the body. You can see vitiligo vulgaris. And the last classification is unclassified or undetermined vitiligo. We have something known as focal vitiligo. We can see isolated lesions, small isolated lesions in the body. That is the unclassified or undetermined vitiligo, known as focal vitiligo. So these are the different types of vitiligo: segmental, non-segmental, as well as unclassified or undetermined. Segmental, we have it happens to have in early childhood, unilateral, does not cross the midline, leukotrichia can be seen. segment lesions can be seen. Second one is non-segmental. We have acrofacial, mucosal, vitiligo vulgaris, as well as the universal vitiligo. The third one is unclassified or undetermined vitiligo. You can see focal vitiligo. Small isolated lesions can be, depigmented lesions can be seen in the body. Coming to the clinical features of vitiligo. The classical feature of vitiligo, the lesion what you can see is chalky white macules. Chalky white color macules are the lesions. And it has, as earlier I told you, we have leukotrichia, white hair. It involvement of melanocytes of the hair also is seen in vitiligo. The next classical feature you can see is if you have a trauma. If you have a trauma in a patient in vitiligo, what happens? You can see a presence of new lesion happening at the site of trauma. At the trauma, new lesion can be formed at the site of trauma. That is known as Cobnus phenomena. So Cobnus phenomena is nothing but at the site of trauma, new lesion happens to occur. Okay, new lesion occurs at the site of trauma known as Cobnus phenomena. So these are the classical clinical features you can see in vitiligo. Chalky white macules, leukotrichia, and Cobnus phenomena are the classical features you can see as a clinical features of vitiligo. Coming to the treatment of vitiligo. Treatment of vitiligo, one of the treatments earlier I told you in segmental vitiligo, there can be surgical intervention, which is the melanocyte transplantation or the skin grafting. So depending on the involvement of the body surface area, how many percentage of the body surface area is involved, you can have the treatment according to the body surface area. So if it is less than 20% of body surface area is affected, you can give topical steroids as well as something known as topical tacrolimus. What is topical tacrolimus? It is the calcineurin inhibitor. Okay, like our action of cyclosporin and also calcineurin inhibitor is the for example tacrolimus. So topical tacrolimus you might have seen in dermatology or even in pharmacy. Tacrolimus ointment is there. That is the treatment for vitiligo. If it is less than 20% of body surface area, you can give topical steroids and topical tacrolimus. If it is more than 20% of body surface area is affected, you can have systemic steroids, you can have azathioprine. Okay, and one more thing, in the medical college you have noticed, you can see something known as NB-UVB, narrow band ultraviolet B. Okay, that is a kind of phototherapy. NB-UVB, narrow band ultraviolet B phototherapy. There is a range 311 plus or minus 2 nanometer wavelength has to be the phototherapy, the wavelength of the phototherapy. The narrow band NB ultraviolet B, NB-UVB phototherapy of at a rate of 311 plus or minus 2 nanometer of wavelength. So these are different types of treatment you can have in vitiligo. Okay.